Hi, my name's Jim and I am an antinatalist. An antinatalist is someone who believes that the human race should stop breeding and go extinct. Seems pretty far out there, huh? I mean, that's what people do. They have children. They do it and their children do it and their children and so on and so on and so on. Right? But did you ever ask yourself why we do it? I mean, obviously it's connected to sex, and most of us like sex. But with the easy accessibility of birth control, especially in the developed countries of the world, this really isn't a very good answer. Of course, there are plenty of other reasons to have children. We bear them for companionship and to add to the richness of our family relationships. We train them through various levels of schooling in order that they might ultimately contribute to their families as well as to the greater society by means of work, entertainment, and emotional support. Some are trained in the uses of various weaponry so that we may stand them between us and the enemies pointing their guns at us. We count on them in our declining years to pay them any costs connected to our deteriorating health, medicines, hospice care, those sorts of things. Of course, none of these children ever asked for this burden of responsibilities to be laid on their shoulders. Rather, these burdens, as well as many others I hope to touch on in future videos, are forced upon them wholly without their consent. So, let's make one thing perfectly clear and right from the start. Having children, or procreation, is an ultimately selfish act. It's not like unborn kids are standing around in the vacuum of non-existence hoping against hope that they'll be lucky enough to be chosen to be born someday. Rather, children are tools of our own making, fashioned for our needs and desires, be they physical or psychological ones. The gift of life isn't really a gift at all, for who was there to receive such a gift in the first place? If anything, bringing new life into the world is only and above all a gift to ourselves, and at such a cost to the gift. Think about it. The world is a tough place to live in, and that at best. For some, it can be an absolute horror. And no one has the power to predict how a certain life might turn out. Fate rolls the dice, and far too often, some poor soul is crushed under them. And for what? To go back to the state of non-existence, the same place they were dragged out of in the first place? Or even worse, to the possibility of an eternal torture chamber conceived by a god as a rightful, everlasting place of punishment for those who disagree with him. In future videos, I'll try to go into these scenarios and others in more detail, but for now, I'd just like to put forth this simple proposition. What if we were the last generation? I mean, there's got to be one eventually, doesn't there? Either the sun explodes, or Jesus raptures the chosen ones, neutering them along the way, of course, or we are ravaged with a worldwide plague or some other disaster, or the universe simply winds down and that's it. So, why not just end it with us? Think of all the suffering, the wars and bloodshed, all that pain that could be avoided, eradicated. And consider this. With the end of human existence comes the end of human death. Nobody left to die nor to suffer the pain of being left behind. After all, nobody gets out of here alive. Why pass that fact on to future generations of children we supposedly care about? Well, I guess that's about all for now. Something for you to chew on. I've never made one of these videos before, and I am hoping to get slightly more sophisticated as time goes on. But for now, this is enough, I think. Oh, please visit my blogs at Antinatalism-net and Antinatalism-info for more information. Be well.